Why is dual sporting better than motocross and trail riding combined? Well, I have 10 reasons right now. Okay, so number one, the most common sense thing is you can leave right from your house. You can go explore around your community. You can find little areas to go. There's little pockets you've always wondered about close to your house, but you don't, want to load up your dirt bike and go check it out. And you can go exploring and just, rip around, go over by the train tracks, the dump. Those are always places you can go find little areas. I don't even know where you live, and I know that. So go explore those areas, and you'll have a ton of fun. The other thing that's fun is you can do bigger loops. You got the big tank. You don't have to worry about gas getting back. You're going to go maybe to a destination. You can do a bigger loop, as Spencer likes to say. You can do this big loop. You can go eat lunch, gas up, and then make your way back. And maybe you do a little tougher route on the way there. Maybe you got road on the way back. A lot easier deal. So you get a much more riding in, more bang for your buck. Okay, dual sport groups. There is a lot of these popping up all over throughout the country. Facebook, whatever you want to do to find these groups. Out west here, there's a bunch of groups, really cool guys. They have a good community, and girls. Lots of groups are out there that are getting a good community together and getting out riding. And so a lot of people want to get that camaraderie of riding with a group and kind of get a lot of that energy out on the trail, on the road, cruising around, stopping for that lunch, all those gas stops, having fun. And exploring with a group can be pretty fun for a lot of people. You get a built-in community. Okay, so the common sense thing here is, for those that rode motocross when they were younger, and now they're older, because most of these dual sport things are blowing up from 40 on up. 40, 45, 50-year-olds. That's where it's really blowing up. There's a few reasons for that, but one of the big ones is they can afford to do it and maybe still have a side hobby, but that less pressure of riding the motocross. Because when you go ride motocross, you all know you still had pressure, and you had this pressure that even if you told yourself you weren't going to race hard or you felt pressure to do it. So with dual sporting, you don't have that pressure on you to do that. And you're not sitting around all day waiting for those motos like you were on the motocross track. You're getting all the bang for your buck out riding. Okay, so the next one, even along those same lines, is less pressure than trail riding. You might think, well, if I just had an XC, I wouldn't be a lot of pressure. But what happens is with trail riding, maybe you're still trying stuff and trying different hard enduro type things, or trying different trails situations that you wouldn't try if you were just on a dual sport and having that dual sport mentality of taking it chill. Okay, with a dual sport, there's no getting around the fact that I think opens you up to enjoying more scenery and more beauty wherever you're at, because you can just get to more places and in a lesser time, since you're not trucking things around. Even if you have to truck to a start-off spot, you can get to places so much better and just enjoy so much more beauty than if you're just locked in at the motocross track, or if you're just stuck to just riding these trails, just these legal trails in this one little area. You might not get to experience if you can get off and get to some areas that are a little bit tougher to get to, a little further away with that big tank. Okay, so overall, there can be less bike work in a dual sport. You don't kind of beat it up as bad as a motocross or trail bike, so it can be a lot less work and maintaining one and keeping it prepped all the time. Maybe you're not also as worried about it being a show beauty queen, like say this one is, as you would a current motocross bike especially, or your trail bike. Okay, so the next thing with a dual sport is you can kind of do it on about anything, down to a little 250, a DRZ 350. So if you have a low budget, up to a brand new KTM or Husky 500, and then you do all the bells and whistles, you can accomplish nearly all the same things. Even if you have a $3,000 bike up to a $14,000, $15,000 bike with whatever you have into it. So that's one of the nice things about dual sporting. Maybe you're sticking more to fire roads, just easy Jeep roads and asphalt, and you're seeing amazing stuff. So you can accomplish some great things on two wheels with a dual sport without having to have the 15 grand to get the, really tricked out nice bike. Okay, so the next one is, this messes with everybody's brain, but with a street legal bike in your state, you can ride it anywhere a Jeep can go. So anywhere off-road, and we get people look at us really mean and ugly if we're out somewhere, but if it's a legal off-road dirt road, say in Moab or whatever, A street legal bike can go there. You don't have to have a green sticker or this sticker or whatever. So what's nice is you can go anywhere legally that those vehicles can go. So that opens up a lot of riding areas, and be able to get to a lot of those areas way faster than Jeeps can. Jeeps are crawling up and you're just blowing by them and able to see much more of that terrain in a shorter period of time. Okay, so the last reason dual sports are awesome is because you can build something like this. Now, this one's a little dirty and dusty from our Racer X test with Chris Kiefer. We got some cool photos and videos that you've been kind of seeing throughout this thing with a little bit of Chris riding. And man, this has been a fun build. This is a FE 350, and people go, why do you choose a 350? Why do you think, Spence?
Because you can.
Because I can. Well, and I typically can get a little better deal on them. I like the bikes, but stock, they are a lot slower. So I tell most guys, if you don't have the funds to be modifying a 350, to look at a 450 or a 500. It's a no-brainer. They're a lot better to start with. But the 350s, since I have the resources to make it awesome, this one right here has got the SXF 350 cams in it. Racetech did the porting on the cylinder, at the cylinder head. So they ported the cylinder head, mapped it to the Vortex ECU. So Racetech did an awesome job with the engine. This thing makes like 10 more horsepower in stock or something crazy. So makes amazing power, feels good. It's a lot better feeling than, maybe it's not as lazy as a 500 or the 450. It feels really good. So you can do some amazing things, and there's so many good products out there. Moto Minded makes a ton of really good stuff. This super mount for my headlight. Taco Moto makes really cool bits to get the controls a lot better than stock. Which it sucks that a lot of this stuff you have to do if you want to make a ultimate dual sport bike. But Taco Moto also makes rear pieces that are tidy, tucked in, all in one blinkers with the brake light. So there's some really good companies making a lot of really cool parts for these things. P3 with skid plates, and ProMoto billet with kickstands and different guards. TM Designs makes a lot of really cool pieces like our chain guide. And of course we got some great tires. We got EN91 dual sport legal tires from Dunlop on here. And of course we had Racetech do our suspension. We went ahead and modified the suspension on this thing, and it feels incredible. All right, so gives you a good idea of some reasons that dual sports are awesome. I think everybody kind of, if you're watching this video this far, you already know dual sports are pretty awesome, so you're enjoying it. We love this bike, ODI bars, grips. I have a lot of my Moto feel on here, and I feel at home on these dual sports. And as I get older and older, I'm enjoying it much more and more and having a great time dual sporting. Hopefully you are, and if you're not, you can get into it pretty easy, and it's a great time. So hopefully you like it. Like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. We'll see you later.
The places dirt bikes can take you, people. This is amazing. I've always thought, hey, I'm not old enough to get a dual sport, but I have to admit, it's pretty damn fun. From the highway to the trail to the lake, it's a really cool, free feeling. Nothing like dirt bikes.
Hey, Dirt Bike TV here. Today, we're going to be talking about why we use the onX Off-Road app. The onX Off-Road app offers offline maps, which is one of the things we use every single time we go trail riding. All the trail riding we do is off the grid, which means no cell phone signal. So we're able to use the onX Off-Road app on our phones and to be able to not get lost and have a ride mapped out beforehand via their desktop version, and I'm able to draw out lines on the computer and plan a coherent loop that everybody can have fun on. onX Off-Road also offers open dates and public land information for those who are looking to plan out their ride best. The Elite version even has ownership information and property boundaries. The features on the onX Off-Road app are pretty much endless. You can import old KML and GPX files, and you can even see fire information in real time, as well as in-depth weather analysis. Try onX Off-Road today by heading over to the link in our link tree or going over to onxoffroad.com and using the code DBTV1 for a 20% discount. See you out on the trail.